Alright, so here is part two, immediately after, and let's just jump right in. Basically, this is going to be what you do directly after and within the first couple months of your first silver purchase. So, many people, including myself, had the question, or have it now, what to do once you've purchased, your first 1, 5, whatever ounce bar, or coin, or round. Now, it's very simple. You, first of all, get somewhere safe where you can put your silver, because chances are if you buy one thing, you're going to be buying more. And secondly, make sure you know that your silver came and is coming from an authentic source. Now, there's many more things I'm going to explain here, but basically, let's explain somewhere safe. The definition. Definition in this case is anywhere where you feel your silver is safe from anyone who would try to steal it, which includes, but is not limited to, robbers, your own family members or friends, random people who happen to see it, or the government. Now, there's a few places to keep your silver safe. One, and this is my least recommended one, I'll say from least to most recommended. Least recommended here is to keep it in a safety deposit box. Now this is although a possible and very plausible thing to do, I highly do not recommend this for a couple of reasons. First, banks, as much as we like to not believe it, banks get robbed. And you don't know that your bank's not going to get robbed. Now, the chances of your safety deposit box getting robbed are probably 1 in 10 million or even less, but it's possible. And if you're storing, a lot of silver, as I'll discuss later on, you may be the target of a robbery. Someone might break in to rob your safety deposit box. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but it's possible, which is, of course, the reason why you want to make sure not everyone and practically nobody knows about your silver. Now, moving up here, my second least recommended way of keeping your silver safe is keeping it in a safe in your own home. The reason for this, if a robber comes into your home, what's the first, or at least the most pressing thing that they're going to take/rob from? Your safe. And the reason for that is a safe. I mean, people don't buy, spend hundreds of dollars, or maybe less, but spend a decent amount of money at least on a safe, unless they're storing something at least semi-precious. Now, of course, safes can have one of two things in them. They can have precious family memories, or just precious things to you in general, or actually precious things. And most robbers, if they're willing to take the chance of breaking into your house, they're willing to take the chance of stealing your safe. And if all your silver's in it, well, they just hit the payday. Now, here's another idea that's pretty good. That is alternative to the safe one, to put it in some kind of wall safe that's hidden behind a painting or something. Now, this is a little obvious. People might tear down your paintings, especially if you have a valuable painting covering it. But on the flip side, painting might be so inconspicuous that no one thinks to look there. Now, either way, keeping it in a wall safe or just a good hiding spot for a safe is a very good idea. The reason, now if you have your safe hidden somewhere, it could still be found, but a wall safe, even if it is found, they'd have to break into it in the house, which is going to most likely cause a lot of noise. And unless they're robbing you at gunpoint, they're not going to really want to do that. Most robbers are basically white / African American teenagers, males, and all that stuff, who are, just with their friends, and they think breaking into someone's house is going to be funny, or a fun thing to do. Most of them aren't very experienced, and therefore aren't going to come in with assault rifles and be able to keep you at gunpoint very well. Most of them are very sloppy, and therefore won't even want to risk breaking into a wall safe. And if they do, they'll be very sloppy as before, possibly leave fingerprints all over it, or at least, wake you up and have you call the police. So it's a lot safer in an area like that than a loose safe, but you know, either way, it's still quite risky. Now, of course, the best option is to keep it in a very inconspicuous place inside of another inconspicuous place. Example, rather than keeping it at your bank where valuable things are always held, keep it at maybe a small storage unit that offers the same kind of service, you know, safety deposit boxes. Or if you have a lot of silver, which again I'll discuss later on, you can keep it in a large area, you know, because they don't get robbed nearly as often. The reason for this, it's a lot harder to access a storage unit or just a storage house in general, and chances are you're gonna get a bunch of furniture and other stuff that you don't feel like moving, you know. Robbers, they're coming in for small, valuable, highly valuable things, not large, less valuable things. You know, a couch is probably worth less than a diamond necklace. And a diamond necklace is a lot more portable than a couch. So you're a lot safer keeping it in an area like that. Of course, you're gonna have to pay a lot higher fees than you would for a bank, which is the downside to it. And if you're a new, you know, silver investor, I wouldn't recommend this as much, but sometimes you gotta be willing to take the extra step to keep your stuff safe, you know? But either way, you gotta make sure you keep it somewhere safe, you know, because if you don't, chances are you're not gonna get robbed, but it is possible. And another way of keeping your silver safe that's surefire to work, at least if you have it at your own home, is don't tell anyone about it. You know, don't go around announcing that to all your friends, work, you know, fellow workers, employees, whoever. You know, if you do run a business, which that's even more dangerous, because chances are you'll have money, and then the employees possibly, or you maybe if you're a mean boss, they will probably rob you. You know, I mean, none of these chances are very high, but the more people that know, the more people that there are conspiring to steal. You know? Now you might think, like I said before, that I'm being very hypocritical by having a YouTube channel where I talk about silver and everything like that, and then telling you not to talk about your silver. Well, I mean, I admit that that is hypocritical, but I'm trying to keep you safe in this part, and I'm really risking my own safety by talking about it all the time. You know, I have my full real name for my YouTube channel, and I mean, that is a little risky, I admit. The government probably would know if they really wanted to who I am. They probably do. They know everyone who uses the internet and who they are. So, you're right. I am taking a risk, but it's not an unwarranted risk, because I'm thinking that if like the government comes after you, I mean, I'd rather know that I inform the people, even if it does mean the government coming for all my silver, because at least I was helping everyone who decided to watch, you know? I feel that that's very justified in that sense. And if you want to make a YouTube channel, be my guest, but realize you're risking your own safety just as I am. Now, what else do you do besides safety after your first purchase? I was talking about authenticating earlier, and as I talked about in part 1, you're going to want to make sure that all your silver is real. But now I'll be talking about a few different interesting tests. You can look this up more extensively. I probably will release a futures video about, you know, silver tests and all that good stuff. But there's a few different things you can do. You can do the magnet test, which is my most recommended one. You can do the acid test, which is my least recommended one. And there's many others. You know, I personally don't do anything dangerous to my silver. I use a rare earth magnet to test it from a magnet test, because I feel that's the safest thing you can do. I've never had any fake silver before come to me, so I feel very, very joyous about that, you know? but it's just because I've researched it a lot, and you know, you're doing the same thing if you're watching this video, hopefully, because by watching it, you're doing research into getting silver, which is very good. And that's my next thing is, if you're a very new stacker and you just start buying, do research. And I'm not just talking about cold hard statistics, facts, and all that stuff, because that is the most important. That's you want that to be the meat of your research. But I'm talking about also just reading about other people who are now very big stackers, reading about their personal experiences. I'll recommend some channels in a couple minutes, but I want to talk about a little bit more about research here. There's many good websites for this. Wikipedia is not one of them, sorry to inform you. But there are many coin websites out there that I do frequent, and I mean, you can find anyone you want, you know, but there's websites that are entirely devoted to archives on coins, as well as websites that are devoted to selling coins and silver. I don't know if you heard about this, but Goodwill recently started selling silver and stuff like that on their website, which is a little strange, but you know, I guess everyone's trying to get in on it, which shows you just how desirable silver is becoming. But in any event, there's many good websites. You know, PCGS is a good website to visit because they have a decent amount of information. A lot of it is on bullion. A good website, very good website, is cointrackers.com. I frequent that website a lot. I've read all sorts of articles. I believe they have value charts. In fact, I've used them before. Buffalo Head nickel value charts. I've used a lot of them, you know, and they're very good. That's probably my most recommended website is cointrackers.com because I feel they have a lot of information that you'd ever be looking for, you know? And anyway, in any case, there's many websites. Find which one's best for you and do all the research you can. But now I said I was going to get back here with some good YouTube channels that have given their personal experiences. Now, personally, probably my favorite YouTube channel is Silver Slacker. You probably know who he is if you're watching this. If you don't, make sure you check him out. He has, I think he has close to 4,000 ounces of silver at this point. He's the one that actually made a video that informed me about a lot of different things. You know, he made a video of his full stack, and he told a very interesting story of what he did before he really started stacking as seriously as he is now. He told me, well, not just me, he told everyone who watched the video about his experience with buying a car with his first selling of silver, making a lot of money off of that, and it was very interesting. You know, he has, like I said, a lot of silver, a lot of experience, and definitely a very great channel to check out. Another great one is Still Keeping One. He's recently was on the rise very much. He had about around 1,000 subscribers for a while, and then he jumped in about 2 weeks to 7,000. Very impressive. A feat that I could not pull off, and many others could not either, I believe. It just shows you his channel is very powerful, very compelling. He's, like I said, very new to the silver world on YouTube, but he has a lot of great videos talking about silver and personal experiences as well. He makes sure not to make you feel pressured into buying silver. He just gives you a lot of great information. Another great channel is Silverfish VT. He will be missed because he is supposedly leaving YouTube now. He released his last video like I think a week ago now, and definitely will be missed. One of the greatest silver stacking channels out there. He's very big at his time, and you know, I guess he had a lot of other interests, so he had to drop the YouTube. Understand, but he will definitely be missed. Another great channel. Now I'm going to be getting more from Bullion into channels that do a lot of coin searching with with the camera, and you get to see it. Great one is Blue Ridge Silverhound. I haven't watched too much of him myself a while ago. I just started watching him more recently. He's very great though. A lot of cool silver that he shows. I really like JD's Variety channel. That one's really great for coin roll hunting. I just today watched a video by him about different mercury dimes that he got, that he was showing that went from this lot of 1,000 that he bought, and it was a very great video. He found a lot of interesting coins. And the last channel I'm going to mention here before I continue on is the channel, oh my god, I can think here. It's the channel Hidden Treasure Hunter. I don't know why I couldn't think of that for a second there, sorry. But he does a lot of metal detecting as well as the silver coin roll hunting. He shows off a lot of different star notes and different cool currencies that he has. Very interesting. If any of you guys are watching, then thank you for that. You've all been very big inspirations to me, and a lot of them will respond to your comments. It's despite how many subscribers they have, which is very nice. My personal favorite channel on this is channel Jack of All Trades, space between the Jack and then of All Trades. He's really the guy that got me started on YouTube, really helped me out, supported me on my first YouTube contest, and he's a really great guy to talk to. He does a lot of work on Facebook, giving away free things every Monday. So you definitely need to check him out, whatever you do. So yeah, basically those are some of the best channels for finding out personal experiences that will really inspire you, I believe, at least on getting silver, and show you a lot of the ropes of getting it. A lot of personal experience, like I said, that really supports what you think or might not support what you think, and you'll know what to expect. So yeah, now to continue on here, let's go into past authentication, research, and all that stuff. Basically everything to keep you safe. Now let's get into actually buying silver, and that is what you are going to want to do now that you've made your first purchase. Alright, so this really depends on how much money you have. I'm going to go through a few different people. Let's say you just started, everyone that every scenario I'm going to be talking about, the person has. But let's say you have just started with, let's say you only have about $50 to spend. So you've already purchased a 1 ounce bar. What do you do? With that, you could probably get a 50 gram and then a 1 ouncer at current silver prices as of the release date of this video. Silver is bound to go back up, so as you're watching this, definitely make sure to buy soon after this, after you feel like you've gotten a good grasp on silver. Of course, if you've got only $50, then I definitely understand how you feel. I don't have too much to spend on silver myself, being my age and everything. And really, depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for straight sheer number of silver you can get, just go with 50 gram, 1 ounce, probably what you can get for 50 if you can get some good deals. Try to get some best offers on eBay, maybe save $10 or so, get it for a well under spot, and that would be really nice. Another thing you can get is a nice coin. 50, you can actually get a pretty great coin. You can get a BU older Morgan dollar, Barber coins. Those are always great. Maybe some older proof sets. A lot of things with that, a lot of silver coins. Or you can get, probably around 3 ounces of silver if you can get it for under spot. Well, I mean 3 ounces at current now. Alright, so like I said, miscellaneous tips here, just stuff that you should know. First of all, silver is a risk. You need to realize that right now off the bat. Don't try to hold anything against me if you lose money on it, because I'm telling you right now, you're taking a risk by buying silver, and it's a risk that it's calculated, like I said earlier in this video, but regardless, it is still a risk. And therefore, you are going to have to expect to lose money. It's not going to happen most likely, but you need to be expecting it, because you can't be expecting to get money, or else if you don't, which is unlikely, but in the off chance that you don't make any money and you lose money, you need to be prepared. Now, in order to prepare for this, you should have a backup plan. That involves having other metals. Don't have all your eggs in one basket, because if the basket breaks, all your eggs are gone, and it's not good. So make sure you have gold, as well as platinum and copper, all very good sound metals, especially the 3 higher value ones. Silver probably being the most sound out of all of them. Another thing you want to make sure you do is have money put aside that doesn't go towards anything, so that you can fall back on in case you lose money on your silver, lose a lot, so you don't have to file for bankruptcy. I mean, you should have a job anyway, probably, if you're being able to support your silver and other metal buyings. So, but it's good to have savings just in case, to fall back on something, in case you were trying to flip silver real fast and then the prices went down, which of course I don't recommend silver for doing that anyway, personally, but that's just me. Now, another very good way to make sure that you're ready if silver goes down is to have a, maybe not in so much like personal financial advisor, but like somebody who had, like, especially if you have a lot of silver, you want to have somebody who can guide you through it and help you with your finances if silver goes down. Now, of course, silver, like I said, it's not likely to go down, and therefore, if it does go up, here's what you're going to want to do. Now, many people make the mistake of just selling immediately once they see silver rising. Silver was at, let's say, $15 an ounce. You see it go up to 25, they're thinking, oh, better sell now. Don't, because one of 2 things are going to happen. Either A, you're going to sell it and then it's going to keep on going up, or B, you're not going to sell it, it's going to keep on going up, and then you're going to get money off of it. Now, of course, it can plateau or go down. Chances of it going back down immediately after a spike are very slim. Plateauing, if it does that, then just sell at that point if you're trying to make money. But don't sell immediately, because you could be, you could lock in thousands of dollars if you wait a little bit. So it's just a lot less risky and a lot better money for you, really. Of course, if silver is going up, you also want to check, see when it last went up that percentage in history, and see what it did afterwards, and then the results. Make sure you also look at the results, what caused silver to go up the last time compared to this time, and see if it was the same thing. If it was, then you can expect similar results. Of course, unless an unknown factor comes in, which in that case, that could shoot silver up or bring it back down. Now, in order to prepare for the metal crisis, you're going to need to have all the metals, because platinum as well as gold are used on a lot of electronics, silver is as well, and actually copper is being used a lot now because it's so much cheaper, and electronics are going to be necessary, military electronics for the war. Therefore, all those prices are going to go up. Silver's going to shoot up probably the most. Gold's probably going to be closely behind than platinum. Copper's not going to go up as much in terms of electronics. It's going to be needed more for artillery. In fact, it's going to be needed a lot for that. Silver is going to be very good for holding value. If, per se, the dollar loses all of its value due to hyperinflation, Gold's also going to hold a lot of good value, both very sound metals to use as currency for man, which is why they've done it so much. That's why you don't see platinum or any other coins like that being used. I can't say you don't see copper coins, because all the way up to 82, the penny was 95% copper. Those with a few exceptions, like the steel Indian head pennies of the Civil War and the steel penny of 43, but both of those were in times of war. But it's been consistently copper for most of its times, and I can't say that, but copper isn't really a precious metal, so it doesn't really count. And only one coin was made from it. Silver and gold, especially silver, has seen all coins besides a few. Penny and the nickel were never silver or gold, besides, of course, limited edition sets, and with the exception of the mid-42 to 1945 war nickel, also because of World War II, just like the steel penny from 43. That nickel was only 40% silver anyway, or 35% silver, and therefore making it worth less than a silver Roosevelt dime, even though it weighs a lot more because it has technically less silver in it. And nickel was needed. Now I'm also going to discuss a few odd bullions that most people probably don't know about, starting with nickel bullion. Now, it might sound strange to you to invest in bullion that coins are still currently made out of, but the reason for nickel investing is because it is very good during war times in terms of value. Now, it can be good and bad. It can be good because you can sell it for a lot, but it can be bad because the government might come and take it from you, it might make the owning of nickel illegal, which would be very bad. Another good metal to have during war is lead, because lead's needed for bullets, obviously, and in some cases bullet shells as well, which will make it very desirable for war weapons. Think about the millions of bullets that are going to go towards shooting enemy troops. Chain guns and stuff like that feed thousands of bullets just to kill a couple of guys, and millions are left dead, so potentially billions of bullets might need to be produced in a short time, which, as you can guess, is not going to go very well. So they're going to need to get some nickel, and you might just have to be their provider. Now, of course, always a great, less known bullion to invest in is copper. Now you might be saying copper is very well known, but it's really not respected as a precious metal because, frankly, it's not valuable at all. It's worth 25 cents an ounce. Definitely not a valuable metal when compared to silver, which is at a low price now. Right now, it is still 60 times higher than copper. Therefore making copper very obsolete. However, it still is a very good metal to have, very solid and very necessary during wars. One of my favorite obscure bullions is titanium. The reason for this is that it can be considered a precious metal. In fact, it is worth, for a 1 ounce bullion bar of titanium, you're going to have to pay around $13, close to the price of silver. And silver is very well respected. And titanium is extremely necessary for all sorts of things. Everything from jewelry all the way up to making the alloy for airplanes. The jets, since they get so hot, need titanium alloys that can survive that kind of heat without melting off, which makes it a very desirable metal, especially during war when a lot of planes have to be made that have engines that might heat up to 2,000 degrees or more flying at hyper speed. You're going to need a lot of titanium, and you might have to be their man. Of course, there's many other obscure bullions, but those are some of my favorites personally. I really don't see why you'd heavily invest in them, but they're just something to add to your portfolio. Just something interesting to add, something to talk about. It's a good discussion piece, I don't like to say that with bullion, but that's what it is mainly, if you really think about it. Now, that's, of course, basically it for this part 4. I don't know why I said of course. I didn't mean to say that. There is a few more tips, however, I need to give you right now. and that is one tip is to try to lock in potential investment savings. You know, make sure when prices are low, you buy. Prices are high, you don't, and you wait for it to go down as low as you think it's gonna get. Once it plateaus, like it has right now, buy, thousands of ounces. I'm talking about if you can afford it. And then once it goes back up, you're stacking on something that became worth more, and you saved a lot of money. If prices spike down, make sure you check the current price of silver every. If you're really dedicated, every hour. I check them usually every hour if I'm not, somewhere. Because if silver prices suddenly shoot down, you need to go to a website that has current silver prices for their bars on it. Don't go on eBay, and then buy. Because if it spikes down, it can spike back up. It's not like where it spikes up. That's a little bit different. But when it goes down, it could be because of something that's very temporary, and it could go back up to a normal price again, or even a higher price than before. So definitely make sure you buy then. And it's basically it for part 4. I hope you enjoyed this video. Much longer than my usual ones, but I just figured I'd make it for you guys. Alright, make sure you check in tomorrow for another video. I still am going to upload daily videos. I didn't upload a couple days this week because I was working on this. But I hope you enjoyed. Peace, love, and much respect.